Here's the thing about modern controls. So modern controls, as you all know, you get a light button, medium button, a heavy button. It kind of changes some of your input. For example, if you hit a 3 punches button, so if we have a 3 punches button and we hit it, if you're in normal, if you're in classic, it'll come out with your heavy button. But if you're in this, because there's not a light punch and a light kick, there's just a light, medium, and a heavy. Throw is light plus medium, which means that if you hit 3 punches, it actually comes out as throw. So there's a couple ways in which the, the actual button option select overlaps are slightly different between classic and modern. But generally, yeah, you have your standing and crouching lights, mediums, and heavies, and then usually a lot of directional heavies for most characters. And then down forward heavy is sweep for every character. And then you've usually got some different input for a lot of the target combos that existed for the character. And then you've got your as many special moves as they can cram onto a control scheme. And in Modern, they won't do like a quarter circle backwards input and a half circle backwards. So, for example, if you play Modern Manon, there is no half circle back or quarter circle back input. There's only a half circle back. So you lose a couple normals, or you get awkward ways of doing certain normals. If you play some characters, like if you play Lily, you basically never have to hit the auto button except to do instant reaction special moves. You don't really need to react with auto button plus normal in most interactions, but for some characters it can be a bit weird. But yeah, you get 1 button specials, 1 button supers, and that's most of the value comes from that. There's always going to be pros and cons to every single character in Modern. Some stuff that you lose, and some stuff that you gain. So Luke is a great example. You get 1 button Fireball can be beneficial to get Fireball without accidentally getting DP. So you can walk forwards and get Fireball, or Drive Rush into an instant Fireball. Never get a DP. Which can be beneficial, especially if you're doing the EX. This is a pretty valuable tool to have with a walk forward. Especially when you're reacting to, with Luke's Fireball, reacting to other people's Fireballs, because this is just a laser that beats non-EX Fireballs. So, having this on 1 button, good to react to a lot of stuff in neutral. Really easy 16-frame full-screen reaction. 1 button DP for anything that you would want to DP for. DPing anything that's airborne, any jumps, anything. Being able to walk underneath a jump in and then do cross-cutting in Modern is a bit weird, but it can be done. So you've got that. You've got EX DP, which can be valuable in infinite situations. Anytime that the opponent is like, so you're trying not to lose to Jamie's brain-dead YOLO full-screen Drive Rush. And you can just DP it. You could just 1 button DP it. It's awesome. Mix it between 1 button DP and 1 button super. And it becomes much harder to Drive Rush on you. So yeah, you got 1 button specials. Some of them are more interesting than others, like you also get 1 button EX Tackle, which can be used to counter certain things in ways that it can do better than countering them with EX DP. A couple of cases where this is particularly useful. And then it all comes to the supers. And the supers being on 1 button makes you have much better defense in a variety of situations, but mostly when you're in burnout and trying to deal with drive impact. Being able to do the 1 button reactions against the DI, very helpful. One button supers. There's lots of utility for having these supers as one button. This super is nutty. This super is like 6-frame startup, over half screen away. React to fireballs, whiff punish any button, react to neutral jumps in the mid-range, anti-air back jumps after you try to throw people, etc. This super does everything. Level 2, also very fast. Very short ranged, but stronger in some ways, and will have decent corner carry, so you can react fairly close to the corner, and then, you know, valuable tool. Level 3, no more utility per se than either of his level 1 or level 2s, except that this is fully projectile invincible, whereas this only has to clash and beat a projectile, so you can't do it when a projectile is right about to hit you. And yeah, but any level 3, all level 3s are valuable because even doing the modern version of the input, which reduces the damage you get, because level 3s, not only do they have the utility of however easy it is to land them in neutral, based on how fast they are and their invincibility and everything, but they recover your drive gauge and steal the opponent's drive gauge by a significant margin, and some of them give you pretty decent Oki. This one gives you decent Oki. And I do think, I am of the opinion that almost every character can get something out of. I think the the characters that get the least out of Modern are maybe like, I don't know, Zangief and Dhalsim, because they have the worst supers. So, a move like this. 10-frame level 1, strike invincible. Pretty decent range for the 10-frame first hit. You can totally use this as a whiff punish tool for a lot of things in the mid-range. And if you use this to whiff punish things, you get a drink out of it. So, even though you're getting nerf damage, and no matter what, even if you do the full thing, you're not getting Oki off of this. But you can get a little bit of damage, win the interaction, get a little bit of push, and you get a free drink. The installs, being a one-button input, some of them are more valuable than others. Blanca is, I think, the only particularly decent one, because if you one-button install with Blanca, you get an immediate buff to your anti-airs, so you can see them jump, one-button install with Blanca, and then do his up ball, and then do a full combo, because he can cancel his up ball into more balls with the install. So that's the one that I think is particularly potent. These other ones, I don't know. And then, yes, level 3s. Having a DP is always good in Modern. He gets, like, EX Rekka, which is 13 frame. Not the greatest, you know, tool. He has other stuff that you could use, but can be used as a whiff punish tool depending on the circumstances. And when you have higher drinks... Oh, also, it should be mentioned, you can only do his command throw via the modern input, but this does not actually nerf the damage. Which is handy. And you get one button anti-fireball tool, which is also handy. Manon originally I thought was terrible in Modern. Just looking at like the things she loses standing heavy kick, big normal. She loses crouching medium punch, which is a very important normal / combo tool because it's the only thing you can do off of a drive rush to go into then crouch or back fierce. But let's see. She gets one button anti-air, which the EX anti-air, it's not frame 1 anti-air invuln, but you can still use it to beat stuff like Honda Headbutt or Blanca Ball. This is okay. 16 frame whip punish for certain things from long range. This has a lot of interesting utility. The EX version especially is like fully upper body invincible. So you can go into the strike, you can go into the kick follow-up, and this is like an interesting anti-projectile tool that you can go for 3 different variations. You can fake, you can go for the kick, or you can go for the strike for the most invuln. But yeah, the EX version is the most interesting and can be used to react to quite a lot of stuff to give you better punishes and better reward. But mainly, she just has really good supers. Level 1, 10 frame, pretty good range, side switch. Hits low, you know, everything. Her level 2, one of the best level 2s in the game, probably. Especially to have it on a 1-button input. 7 frames, huge range, fully projectile invincible too. You can totally react to projectiles with this. Very dominant whiff punish button. And then you can move in afterwards. Our level 3 is like, whatever, it's okay, it's fine. Kimberly, again, expanding our mind for what we think Modern is even capable of. 1-button run. 1-button run actually has a lot of utility. 1, you get 18 frame full screen whiff punish. EX is 16 frame full screen whiff punish. You get this, obviously. You get, I don't think there's much utility in that. Her level 1 is, like, kind of slow and not the best for whiff punishing and stuff, but it does have pretty decent reward because she is plus enough to get immediate afterwards. Level 2, invincible, can be used for some interesting things, although it's not so good that it's, like, that much better than just using it in Classic. And her level 3 is valuable because anytime you can land this under any circumstances, you get a permanent buff. But yes, 1-button run has a lot of theoretical utility. For starters, you can... It's not privy to cross-ups or like Honda headbutt or anything like that. Anytime anyone jumps at you, even from like this range to this range, you can just run underneath them instantly. 1 button. It's like the easiest thing in the world. Just run stop. So you can run stop underneath people all day. You can run past any specific, any positional change. You basically get a 1-button dash with other options off of it. Marisa has the best modern move in the game, 1-button Gladius. Being able to do this while walking forwards without accidentally getting Superman Punch is extremely valuable. Being able to react in anti-air with this, react to things in neutral and counter poke and stuff with this, react to fireballs in the close range with this. This is the best 1-button move in the game, easily. Having this as a 1-button is invaluable and fixes so many problems that the character usually struggles with. 1-button this, also very valuable, beats a lot of stuff. Very convenient problem solver. Her supers are not great. Her supers are not like amazing 1-buttons, but they're, you know, whatever. Her level 3 is the best super in the game, so having this on 1-button just is worth the entire character. And this is, level 2 is also pretty valuable in certain matchups. I mean, we've all seen, the Dhalsim matchup where this is used against. Having a modern input invincible level 1 for a character that doesn't normally have a DP can be valuable. Like, with JP like this, you can anti-air awkward anti-airs, you can deal with certain things and send them full screen. It's, it can be, you know, pretty nice. You also get 1-button spike, mid-spike, which means that it is even easier to react to full screen forward jumps into that range with like EX spike. You can anti-air them with very easily on reaction. And 1-button amnesia is also quite valuable in a lot of situations. His level 2, I don't know, and his level 3, it's a bit slow, but it's like a full screen whatever. So, and any level 3 on 1-button is valuable, obviously. Then when you come to, you know, someone like Modern Jury, 1-button EX Fireball, not great. 1-button ZP, always good. But the main value comes from her supers. All of her well, her level 1 specifically is like arguably the best level 1 in the game to have on one button. 7 frames. It is a projectile, so lots of things are strike invuln but not projectile invuln in this game. It is a projectile. Huge range! Fucking stupid range for a 7-framer. Look at this range. And she drive rushes all the way in for full screen Oki with a lot of corner push. So if I have him sometimes whiffing crouch medium kick or not, even stuff like having just cool on one button can be valuable in the footsies. Any sudden forward movement, anything, any inkling you get in the footsies. This on punish counter is stupid strong in the mid-range. Cammy, you know, loses some important buttons, but also she has the best supers in the game overall. 9 frame, stupid utility. That one's okay, and then her level 3 is just busted. Some instances, and maybe this will be relevant with more characters as more DLC characters are added, or I don't know if they're going to adjust the balance of the modern versions of the characters, if they're going to, like, say, change which moves you have access to or what their inputs are in modern at any point, because that would heavily affect the balance of the modern characters. But, for instance, auto buttons you can do while completely... So you can do a standing button while holding down back the entire time with an auto input. So you can do this and do a down charge move if you're in modern. So there's other, you know, weird charge character utilities for a couple of things that you can't do in Classic. And then Dhalsim, I don't know why the fuck you would play Dhalsim in Modern. Like, I don't know what you even get out of it. This has no invincibility, and it's not particularly fast for its range. This, I guess, is like your only thing. It's level 3, I guess. Even it's also 10 frames and 0 range. This, as a one-button anti-air, it's not fucking... It doesn't help. Like, it has no air invincibility. It's slow as fuck. Even the EX one is not a good anti-air, even with one button. It's not great. I don't know why you would play this character in Modern. And Rashid came out recently. I haven't labbed him as much. I don't know as much about why you would play him in Modern. I guess you get this. You get this one button. That's cool. Probably some other stuff. I don't know. I have seen Modern Rashid players. I just don't know what the appeal is.